Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm sitting here with a cup of joe because I'm really tired. So it is Monday, it's a holiday, President's Day, hallelujah. So I figured I'd sit down and film my Q&A video that I have been trying to do several times and it just hasn't happened. So now's the time, I'm gonna do it. Also, I just wanna say it has been a good 6 days of study-free life. Since I took my BEC exam last Tuesday, I have thoroughly enjoyed every second. I have done something every single weeknight. Yesterday and Friday were so intense, and Sunday, the whole weekend. So fun. It's kind of a preview of what my life will be like when I'm done studying for this exam, and it's just so amazing. I've hung out with so many people, and I have to go back to studying my brains out in a couple weeks. Not too excited about it. But anyways, let's do some Q&A. I'm gonna be really short with these answers because I wanna get through as many as I can. If you guys want me to elaborate on any specific question, just shoot me an email or comment below, and I may do a separate video on like 1 or 2 of these questions if you want me to go super in depth. So let's get started. So several of you have asked me along the lines of why did I choose to work for the state over a public accounting firm? I did not intend on working for the state when I graduated. I just happened to go to this lady's booth at the Meet the Firms event. No one was at her booth and she made eye contact with me from across the room. I was like, I've got to go talk to this lady. Went to go talk to her. She was for the state. She was so nice and friendly. She explained everything about the job. Everything just lined up with what I was aiming for. It just seemed like a match made in heaven. It was absolutely perfect. I don't know anyone that works for the state, so it was kind of its own, like I didn't have any guidance to go off of. I just listened to her, I did some research on my own, and realized that's where I'm meant to be. They travel, they have time off, it's still awesome work. I'm doing real audit work. I'm not like fetching people's coffees and lunches as a new employee that some of the big firms go through. So that's why. Next question is, do you think having accounting related work or intern experiences is more important for new grads who want to work in accounting firms, or is a decent GPA enough to attract employees? I'm glad you asked this. I get this question asked a lot just from my fellow college student friends who are still in college asking about internships. I think with accounting specifically, it is very important to get an internship. That is, to me, more important than GPA. I will say though, lots of firms won't even look at you if you have below like a 3.5 or maybe a 3 GPA. You're not gonna get called for an interview, so make sure your grades are up, but your work experience means more than your brain knowledge, because if you can't apply your textbook knowledge into the field, you're kind of worthless, even though you're really smart, you put in a lot of effort. So try to get a good balance of finding a good internship that still allows you to keep your grades up, and that's your best bet, but definitely focus on getting an internship. Just personally, my own experience, the other job interviews I had when I had graduated college were interviewing people that had multiple internships, and that's why they called me. They were like, we see you have 2 internships on your resume, so that's why we called you in for an interview. So it is very important. Now, yes, I think getting an internship is crucial in the accounting field. That is not for all fields. GPA may be more important elsewhere, but for accounting, I would say internship, just my own personal experience. Next question, what is your favorite laptop brand? I like that. I'm not a Mac user. I would like to have an Apple computer at some point in the future, but they're so expensive and it does the same thing a Windows can do, so I'm not interested in that right now. So I would say at the moment an Asus. Now I did have an Acer and it was great, but this thing was $700 at Best Buy like a year and a half ago. It folds all the way around. You can do it tablet mode, you can do it long ways, you can type forever. It also comes with a pen, you can write on it. I love this thing. I could do a whole entire advertisement on this computer. It has blessed me well. I really enjoy it. Next question is, how did I get my job? I went to that Meet the Firms event, talked to the lady at the booth. She was like, hey, what's up? You got a good GPA. You've had internship experience. You need 150 credits. You can come apply for us. Let me know when you get it. So I was like, okay. So I took summer classes after I graduated because I graduated with 135 credits. Went to my community college, took 15 extra credit hours, had 150, called the lady up, I emailed her, she gave me her business card, I applied for the job, they called me in for an interview. It was like a 3-hour long interview, it was super intense in Nashville, and about a few days later, they offered me a position, so that's how it happened. It was pretty great. Next question is, can I register for the CPA exam in Guam, then take the license from California? I am not going to be able to answer that question because I don't know all the restrictions and how all of that works. The only thing I can say is that, like for me, I'm applying for my Tennessee CPA license. I can take the exam in any of the 50 states and international locations. Let's say I go to Bermuda, they may be able to service the exam in Bermuda for me to still have my Tennessee CPA license. That's all I can really offer to that question, so I'm sorry, I'm not qualified enough to answer that. I really like this next question. Where do I see myself in 10 years? I was just talking to a friend the other day about, I don't even know where I see myself in a year or like 6 months. Like, I truly don't. So many things have changed recently since I've graduated. I've moved to a whole new city, moved back. I'm traveling a lot right now. I am somehow making that happen. I've got all these random opportunities coming to me. My YouTube is growing a little bit. So I'm just like really excited to see what the future holds. I don't know where I see myself in 10 years. Hopefully I have my CPA license, and that's about all I can say. I honestly don't know. And hopefully I travel a ton, but let's see, I will be turning 34 in 10 years. So I don't know where I'll be then. I'll let you guys know when I find out. Okay, this next question is a lot of questions, so I'm gonna run through it really quick. I think this person's asking, do I follow my gut or my brain when I make big decisions in life? I think it's a good balance of both. I'm too practical and logical of a person to say follow your heart and follow your big dreams. There has to be some logic behind it. That's a whole issue for another time. I don't really know how to answer that. Next question, are you a moody person?
No.
So what's the first thing you do every morning? I drink coffee on the weekends. I check my phone before work when I first wake up. Also go to bed really early, so I will reply to all my friends' text messages the next morning at like 5 o'clock in the morning. That's how old I am. Getting old. I don't know what that next question is. When you are being dispersed, what do you do?
Disperse?
My favorite meal is lasagna or spaghetti, anything pasta related. That's my favorite Italian food. Superb. I really like this question. It's really unique. Who most affects your personality and makes you like you are? I'd say my genetics. My mom and dad came together, and that's how I got my personality. I will say I feel like more and more each day I'm more like my dad, which I think is great. That's a compliment. I also think my friend group, I talk to them every day, and they're just really uplifting, positive people that are doing great things, and I'm really proud of them. We can all come together, and it's just like a positive environment. So, not sure if they answered that question, but I don't know. Also, living alone and being like pretty independent right now, there's not really anyone I'm with 24/7, so I kind of just have to shape my own personality. Like, this is who I am, and I can finally come to realization with it because I am by myself. When you're being happy, what do you do if you get upset over something? This happens daily. I mean, we all have emotions. We all get upset about random stuff. Guys, I may be happy and cheery on my YouTube, but I am a normal person. I do get upset and angry probably every day, at least at some point. I try to snap out of it the best that I can. I also will try and take myself out of the picture and look down on it and realize it's not that big of a deal, whatever it is. What's something you say to yourself every day?
Come on, Heaven, you can do it. Keep getting through this exam. It's almost over and you have your life back.
Every day. Sometimes do you worry about what the future brings? Absolutely, sometimes. I was a whole lot more concerned. Obviously, graduating college, you're like, where the heck do I go? Where do I work? It's gonna change my whole outlook on life. What city do I live in? That was a whole lot more stressful then. Now that I'm in Knoxville and I feel like this is where I'm meant to be, it's a whole lot more. I have assurance that this is where I'm meant to be. As far as the future, yeah, I don't know what the future holds, so it's kind of like a guessing game, but I kind of enjoy that mysterious aspect of it. Who are your close friends and why? Matthew, Julian, Amy, and Chancey are my best friends. I do talk to them daily. Chancey, not so much. We just go on random trips together and catch each other up probably once a week. We all are on similar paths. It's kind of weird. I don't know how you explain friendships. They're all just really great people. We all uplift each other, and it's just a great friendship. I've been friends with them for years now, since like the beginning of college, so. The only thing that sucks is like Amy lives in Cincinnati, Matthew he's in Chattanooga now, but he may be moving and teaching somewhere different next year, but then Julian's in Charlotte, North Carolina, so they're nowhere near me. It kind of sucks. But luckily, since Matthew's in Chattanooga, like I just saw him last weekend, or the other day, and I saw him the weekend before last, so that's nice. Do you consider yourself lucky with friends and family around you? Absolutely not. Lucky is not the right word. I just think I am blessed, absolutely blessed to have the support group that I have around me, especially during the CPA exam. And my family, same, just very thankful for them. They're great people and everything, you know, things are great, and I'm really glad. I also think hard work goes into it as well. It's not exactly luck, but like I have earned myself to this position. I'm very thankful I get to live on my own. This has been like a lifelong dream. I've always wanted my own apartment, and now I have it. And I think all the hard work I've put into it up to this point is paying off. It makes me even more thankful for the hard work I put years before. What's a habit you're trying to get rid of? Ooh, what an interesting question. A habit I'm trying to get rid of. Sometimes I will catch myself talking about somebody, and I'm not a gossiper, I never was. I just read right through that. If I see somebody talking crap about somebody else, I no longer respect that person. Like, how are you gonna sit here and talk about somebody? But recently I have caught myself kind of, not necessarily talking bad about a specific person, but just not having the best things to say about them, I guess, which means talking bad, but it's not like straight up mean stuff. I really need to snap out of it. It puts a pit in my stomach if I say anything negative about somebody that I wouldn't say to their face. So that's something I'm just kind of recently trying to take care of with myself. You guys just made me extremely vulnerable in that question. This question made me LOL. How much time do you have in 18 months to finish all CPA exams?
18 months.
Maybe they meant to ask how much time do I have left in the 18-month window to finish my CPA exams. My reg exam expires March 2020, so I have exactly 12 months to pass BEC and FAR. This is gonna be such a long video. Were you a member of Beta Alpha Psi? No, I was not. We did not have that at my university. We had Delta Mu Delta. That was the Honorable Business Society. So yes, I was a member of that and top 10% of my class, which is pretty cool. What was your favorite accounting class and least favorite? Favorite accounting class was management science. It was really cool to work on efficiency with like fast food chains and like the queue line of customers. We got to analyze that and how long a line is before they walk out of line and they leave and go somewhere else. All that is really down to science. I really enjoyed that class. It was super cool. My least favorite accounting class would probably be intermediate accounting itself. The advanced accounting and way up accounting is too much. I was not a fan of it, but I stuck with it. And I was really just banking on the fact that I won't have to do those advanced accounting concepts in my job, and thank goodness I don't, because that would be miserable. That would be more of like later down the road, if you become a controller of a company, then you'll have to apply all of your intermediate accounting knowledge. What motivates you to pursue an audit career? I really just like auditing in general. I also really like forensic accounting and looking into fraud. So I could see myself doing that later down the road, but just auditing in general, I really like. I think I have kind of a natural wanting to nitpick everything, and I definitely want to go after anyone doing any wrongdoing, whether it's on accident or intentionally. So just the job itself kind of motivates me. I truly enjoy it. Do you know what the difference is between forensic accounting and auditing? Auditing, you are hired to just look at their financial statements and give an opinion on if they're fair or not fair. Forensic accounting is more of, you kind of only get called for the troubling financial statements. There may be a tip that someone's called in. They're like, hey, I think there's being fraud committed here. Or maybe the balance sheet isn't adding up. Maybe there's a whole lot more sales this year than there should be. So maybe like something fishy's going on. Let's call in a forensic accountant to come look at it. So there most likely is an issue, fraudulent activity going on when a forensic accountant looks at it. Whereas with auditing, they can be completely clean financial statements every single year, and you're called in just to make sure that they are. Also, I will say just general auditing, if there is fraud, you typically will call in somebody else to come look at the fraud. So you may find it as an auditor, but you can't really do much with it. That's when the specialists and investigators, TBI, FBI, if it gets that big, comes in. I just said TBI. Not all of you guys are in Tennessee, but TBI is our FBI for Tennessee. How hard were your intermediate account courses? Intermediate accounting was very difficult. Don't think I flew through that. It was a very hard, challenging set of classes. Intermediate 2 killed me, and that was a very hard semester. I was in very intense classes. I literally did not sleep a whole semester. I cried every single day. It was absolutely miserable, but I made it through, and I just have hope knowing I won't really have to apply all those really intense concepts in my current job right now. Now, if I was to be a controller of a company in 10, 15 years, then yes, I would have to apply intermediate accounting concepts. That's not really what I'm aiming to do, so yeah. It was hard. How did you reach your 150-hour credit limit for your CPA license? I saw that you mentioned community college. What classes did you take? I did not do what they recommend everyone to do and take accounting classes to get your 150, or take another tax course, take an advanced auditing course. I didn't do all that. Basically what I did was I graduated with 135 credits in May from my university. I went to my community college and went to one of their advisor people at the window and said, hi, I need to talk with somebody because I have to get 5 classes in 2 months. So whatever you guys can give me that don't need prerequisites, sign me up for them and I'm good to go. So that's exactly what I did. So I took public speaking, drawing, art history, Christian ethics, secular ethics, which was really interesting because I took like 3 Christian ethics, but I went to a Christian college, so it wasn't. Secular ethics was cool. And, oh, wellness. I took like a walking and lifting weights and running kind of class. So yeah, nothing related to accounting whatsoever. I just wanted 150 credits as soon as possible. Why is your name Heaven? Are your parents hippies? That's a good question. Let's ask Heaven. So I actually don't know the answer to this question, so I'm gonna ask Dad. Why is my name Heaven?
Your mother come up with the name, so you'll have to ask her.
Okay, Mom, so, why is my name Heaven? Why not Brittany, Emily, Courtney?
I read it in a book.
Yeah, it was a book. I remember that now.
So where did Lee come from?
Where did
In the book, it was Heavenly.
What book? The Bible?
I don't remember what book it was.
The Bible.
That's interesting. I really didn't know that answer. Why'd you choose accounting? Was there any other career that you considered? Absolutely, guys. I wasn't born and raised in accounting. I wanted to be an optometrist. Optometrist to fix people's eyes. I want to be a doctor. I want to be a dentist there for a minute. I still kind of am tempted to be a flight attendant because I want to fly all over the place. I wanted to be a news reporter there for a minute. I wanted to be a writer. In fact, I wrote 70-page notebooks, you know, those little sheet notebooks. I filled 2 of those up front and back writing a novel, like a teenage novel, because I wanted to be a writer there for a minute. I went through several phases. As far as business, the whole reason I ended up in accounting was I just decided I think business sounds cool, so I'll be a business major. And then I just really liked my accounting classes and it came natural to me. Whereas my peers were like failing and struggling really hard. And I was like, guys, this is a joke. Like, this is easy. So I was like, maybe I should use this to my advantage and actually be an accountant. So yeah. What are you gonna buy yourself when you pass all 4 parts of the CPA exam? I haven't even really thought about that endpoint yet because I will get too excited just thinking about it. So I am not going to even think about what I'm gonna do when I pass them all until I get there, because I've got to get there and I've got a long way left to go. How did you feel when you first started working out of college? Was it a big learning curve entering the job? How were you able to overcome insecurities at work? Those are very good questions. I would like to do a whole separate video on that. Mostly too because I was 22 when I started my audit position and I worked with a lot of people a lot older than me. The client did not respect me at my first audit. A lot of them did not treat me with the same respect that my coworkers got simply because I was younger, and they had a problem with that. So I will talk all about that in a separate video. I need to write that down to make sure I do that. What's your favorite thing about being an accountant?
Debit or credit?
I guess I would just say I really like numbers, and especially being an auditor, like getting to search through like invoices and everything. I really enjoy that. I just like being nitpicky and OCD, and it like gets to flourish with my job, so it's great. What's your long-term career plan? How do you prevent burnout on the job? Long-term career plan, I have no earthly idea. I do like forensic accounting, but I also really like auditing, so I don't know. I have no idea what my long-term career plan is. How do I prevent burnout on the job? I think it is key, personally, as you guys can probably tell, is taking time off work. I think everyone should use their vacation days. I think it's a mental reset. It gives you better to go into the next job. And in auditing, like when you switch audits, if you can get a long weekend in between there, if you can just take a Monday off before your next audit, I think it's just great to rejuvenate, to take some time off, to go into the next audit, because like, especially after busy season, that is draining, it's tiring, it's exhausting, your brain is like dead, and you're not working your best. You need time to reset. So that was all of you guys' questions. This is such a long video, so thank you guys so much for watching, and let me know if you want me to elaborate anything else. You can definitely email me, heavensaudventure@gmail.com, and I will probably just talk to you guys sometime next. So thank you guys for watching. Goodbye.